Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. So, what is acceptable for James Bond and what is unacceptable for Bond 25? It's quite easy, really. What's unacceptable is that this brand new female woman of colour replacing James Bond. We know all about it, right? We heard all about it yesterday, that a brand new actress of colour has been cast to play a secret agent who has now got James Bond's 007 status, right? She's not James Bond, but she has got the 007 status since Bond retired in the last movie. So what's unacceptable is that she replaces James Bond, that James Bond either retires at the end of this film for good or gets killed off, and going on will be Phoebe Waller-Bridge running this franchise with this new female as the new 007. Absolutely unacceptable. So what is acceptable? What's acceptable is this, that by the end of the film, she's not 007 anymore. Bond gets his 007 status back, right? She gets some other 00 number. She's still a secret agent. I couldn't give a shit if in the next 200 films they work together. I don't care if they're lovers. I don't care about any of that. She can be in every other film with Bond. She can be with him. She can be in the films as well as Bond, right? Or they can give her own spin-off. I watch the fuck out of that. I'd love it, right? We want to build a franchise here. So that's acceptable. But getting rid of James Bond so you can bring in a woman of colour to replace him, that is a representation and that is an equality. As I said yesterday, that is revenge. Now, I don't believe Hollywood or the entertainment industry actually care about equality or representation. It's just a bell they're chiming on until they deafen us with it. That's what I believe. But the extreme left do run the entertainment industry. There's nothing we can do about that. We can't change that. And, you know, they're fixated in their opinions and the way they think the world should be run. That ain't going to be changed. That's the difference between moderate lefts and moderate rights. So you've got the extreme lefts and the extreme rights. They think what they think. There's no coming in the middle. But moderate lefts like me and moderate rights are quite happy to listen to all sides so we can compromise. But there is no compromise from extremists. There never will be. So, you know, Barbara Broccoli brings in an extreme leftist feminist to develop a James Bond film. It's nothing to do with tidying up scripts. She will run this franchise alongside Barbara and Michael G. Wilson going forward. It's obvious, right? She's an extreme leftist feminist, right? So does it make sense that someone like that should be running this franchise? No, because as I say, there's no in-betweens with these people. There's no compromise with these people. As I say, that's the difference between moderates in politics. Moderates are now become the voices of reason, but no one really wants to listen to them from either side, and that's a shame. So you've got this woman, this extreme leftist feminist, who wants to put her feminist mark on James Bond of all things. Because James Bond, let's be honest about it, has always been about a boy and his toys and him running around and beating people up and saving the world, and it's fun. But you know what? What's funny about this, even though predominantly men love James Bond, I know so many females who love James Bond the way he is. And this is the thing as well. When people like Phoebe Waller-Bridge, extreme leftist feminists, think they're representing women, they're not. I was reading Daniela Westbrook's tweet yesterday, who used to be in EastEnders, and Danny was saying how she's disappointed about this, you know. So a lot of people are disappointed. They don't represent all women. They represent women who might despise men for one reason or the other. Maybe they're members of the German shot put team. Maybe they don't get much sex. They're not very popular, which means they hate men. Maybe they were cheated on. I don't know. Maybe daddy didn't cuddle them enough. Again, I couldn't give a shit. But you're coming in to ruin my franchise that I grew up watching. Now, you can evolve the franchise, right? You can make sure women are represented in the right way. She said one good thing about Bond shouldn't change, but, you know, we have to change the way we, you know, and that's fine. I agree with Phoebe about that. But at the end of the day, that's dangerous because she's saying he doesn't have to change. Does that mean they're going to make him look like the villain as a bad person in this? Is there going to be constant comments from women about this character? Is this why they're going to kill him off and let this new female be the new 007? Now, I'm not convinced this is not going to happen. A lot of people say, no, you've got no evidence. I don't have the evidence, but I have logic. I look at it. She's already 007. Again, with women who are represented on television and film, they don't have to earn anything. We saw James Bond in Casino Royale having to earn each sweat and each ounce of becoming a 00. We've all seen this character's journey, haven't we, with this reboot as well. I mean, there was a bit of a stink kicked up when Judi Dench became M, the first female M. I remember I was a very young guy at the time, and I wasn't really that bothered. Actually, I wasn't bothered at all. I'll tell you why, because it was Judi fucking Dench. Why would you be worried about that? She was fucking awesome. Now, in the first film, GoldenEye, she was very, you're misogynistic. I can't even say the word. I must be a misogynist if I can't say it right. But yeah, so she was calling him a misogynist, but then they kind of created a dynamic between the two. And Pierce Brosnan and Judi Dench were just beautiful together. And because she's so good, her and Daniel Craig were really good together as well. When she left, it was really sad. So I never had an issue. I don't have an issue with women getting jobs. I don't have an issue with minorities and people of colour getting roles. Everyone should be represented. Unfortunately, we can't represent everyone. And what's happening, the LGBTQ community and people of colour are now being overrepresented, but other people from minorities are being ignored, like Greek Cypriots, right? And believe me, I've tried to get work over in Hollywood, and you may say, maybe you're not good enough, maybe I'm not, but what about all the other thousands of Greek Cypriots trying to get work? Are they all not talented? So when you open the representation and the equality door, this is what everyone wants a piece of the pie. And of course, you can't give everyone a piece of the pie. And this is when it gets a bit messy. So this is what I'm saying in the cold light of day. I'm excited, right? I'm excited to see this new 007 replacing James Bond because he retired at the end of that movie, right? That's cool. She can carry on being in the future films. She can work with James Bond. That's cool. She can have a spin-off. As I said, I'd watch the fuck out of that. What mustn't happen is that she becomes the new secret agent and James Bond's either killed by the end of the film or he retires permanently. If that was to happen, goodbye James Bond, R.I.P. James Bond, we're not interested. We are watching these films because we are James Bond fans. And if you want to get acid, pour it over his head and disintegrate him, I'm not part of that party. Now, as I say, because Phoebe Waller-Bridge is a very talented lady, she's got her own fans, so has Killing Eve, so has Fleabag, maybe she can get a little bit of a following. But it will never be the franchise. It will never be the big deal it was, because we're all there to watch James Bond. But I want you to comment down below. What is acceptable and unacceptable for you? Please let me know, and please like, share and subscribe.